Let us now move on to a sutram which applies to a single verbal root. We are still in the adhikara of Tachila Tadharma Sadhukarisho, which we started from 32134, and the sutram we are taking up now is 32174, which is Bhiyaha Kuru Kulukanau. Bhiyaha Kuru Kulukanau. So Vritti simply says Nibhi Bhaye Ityasmat Kuru Kulukanau Syatam Tachiladishu Kartrishu. So to denote an agent who performs an action because of his nature or habit, or sense of duty or family tradition or skill or being good at it, the affix kuru as well as klukan may be used following the single verbal root bhi, which in the dhatu part is listed as ni bhi bhaye, which is second verbal root in the jyotyadikanaha. The derivation is very straightforward. Take a quick example. Bibheti tachilaha bhiroho or bhilukaha. So one who's timid by nature, one who's afraid, one who's scared by nature, he's timid. So we take this verbal root bhi, add the affix kuru by the sutram 32174, which specifically describes these two affixes kuru and klukan. Following this verbal root, so we get bhi plus kuru. Anubandha lopaha Palashakvatite kakarasi sanya tasya lopaha, we get bhi ru. Now one thing to note over here is that the gunadeshaha for the ikara of the yangam bhi, which would have been done by sarvadhataka ardhataka yoho, is stopped by kiniticha. That's why you see why Panini has made this kuru as a kit, so we can stop the gunadeshaha by kiniticha 115. Then iragamaha, this affix ru is a vash adi pratyaha. It's a krit pratyaha, of course, by kridating. It's also a vash adi pratyaha. It begins with a letter of the vash pratyahara. The repha belongs to the pratyahara vash, so it's a vash adi pratyaha. So there's no possibility of iragamaha because of ned vashikriti. Ned vashikriti is 7 to 8. Regardless of the verbal root, this krit pratyaha, which is beginning with a letter of the vash pratyahara, cannot take iragamaha. And actually in this case, this verbal root bhi is anit anyway, because of ekacha upadeshe nudatat. So regardless, both sides this idagama is stopped. So there's no question of idagamaha because ned vashikriti stops idagamaha because ru is a vash adi krit pratyaha, and on top of that bhi is also anit dhatuhu. So therefore idagama is completely stopped. So we get the pradipadikum bhiru, which gets the pradipadika sanya by krit tadita samasa. It's an adjective to go in all three genders. So pullinga prathama ekvachanam is bhiru. Similarly, when we are bhi plus klukan, the ending nakara gets is sanya bahalantyam, and the beginning kakara gets is sanya balashakvat dite tasya lopaha, and so we have bhi plus luka. Here again the same thing, that the gunadesha for the ikara, which would have been done by sarvadhataka yoho, is stopped by kiniticha 115, and again the idagama is stopped by the same way because this lakara also belongs to the vash pratyahara. So luka is a krit pratyaha which begins with the letter of the vash pratyahara, so this cannot take the idagama anyway. And on top of that, this dhatu bhi is anit dhatu because of ekacha upadesha nudatta, so the idagama is completely stopped, and we get the pradipadikam bhi luka, which gets the pradipadik sanya by krityadita samasa. These are the two forms. These two forms bhiru and bhiluka. The nakara, the it in klukan, doesn't affect us. It's only for the intonation in the Veda. So that has nothing to do with what we're doing here, because in bhashayam the nakarasya projanam nasti. But in the Veda it'll have an implication for the intonation. So that's how we get these two forms, bhiru and bhiluka. There's a vartikam on this sutram where Katyayana adds this affix krukan also. So vartikam says krukan api vachaha. So to denote an agent who performs an action because of his nature, habit, or sense of duty or skill, the affix krukan may also be used. In addition to using kuru and klukan, we may also use kurukan. So we get the form bhirukaha, vibheti tachilaha bhirukaha. Derivation is very similar to that of bhilukaha. So this third form is possible because this vartikam, which prescribes this affix krukan. So we get the form bhirukaha. So in total there are three forms: bhiruhu, bhilukaha, and bhirukaha. The three forms, two from the sutram and one from the vartikam.